Welcome everyone to round 3, the final round of May 7th Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry. And guys, Maul LOF Force Blue, he's back. Once again, piloted by a different person. So not our normal Maul player, not the player who just played me in round number 2, another person playing Maul. Because we all love Maul. I know you guys are just so ready to finally stop seeing Maul on the channel. But you won't. Because he's always going to be there. Always creeping, always showing up as his showcase self. He's always there, always igniting his double-bladed lightsaber. And he's going up against Gen Law Splash Red. A really fun deck, in my opinion, if you like Rebel spam, and then like searching your deck because of your Rebel spam. So anyways, Jin states on her front side, action pay 1 tapper. If a Rebel unit died this phase, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may draw one of those cards and put the other 2 in the bottom of your deck in any order. In random order, I believe. I know for a fact you take the top 2. I can't remember where they go. I think they go in the bottom of your deck if I recall. So the whole kind of gimmick is you kill your rebels and then you just kind of search for the pieces you need. Because Jin doesn't state on her front side, or either side I guess you should say, because on her back side she does the exact same thing. On attack of a rebel was killed this phase, you may then look at the top 3 cards of your deck, grab one of them and add it to your hand. Draw one and add it to your hand. So the whole kind of gimmick is that you're running with aggressive negotiation style deck, because again, she runs aggressive negotiation styles, and you're just filtering your deck top 3, and then you're just grabbing the pieces you need, because she doesn't require you to grab rebel cards. They just require you to draw 1 card of the top 3 you looked at. So the whole kind of gimmick, you kill your rebels, you look at top 3, you grab the pieces you need, like aggressive negotiation, and then you kind of just filter your deck that way to grab pieces you need until you get the combo needed to win the game. She flips for 5, by the way. So without further ado, let's see if Maul can win some more or if Jin's going to break that cycle. Let's get into game number 1. Here we go for game number 1. Jin is going to start off with a Y-Wing, and then Maul's going to start off with a 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐄, the Black Series, of course. 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐄, again, those packs, those type of arts you can only get in the Black Series promo packs from the high-level qualifiers in this in the game. So it means PQ, that means sector qualifiers, that means regional qualifiers, and that's Galactic Championship. The Y-Wing, of course, is going to swing here and then going to deal 3 indirect damage. We're going to go for the Red Squadron Escort coming down and then dealing 2 damage to itself to then draw 1 card here. And then we're going to go for, of course, the Fleet X-Wing there, then has the 1/4 Sentinel, and then 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐄 did take all 3 of that indirect damage there. 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐄 did swing the 40k token there is, of course, the first token for the Maul side of the board state. Again, you only need, by definition of the rules for Fantasy Flight, you technically should have a Force token, but understandably that you can still get away with just any token as long as it represents what the token should be. So in this case, that's what the Force. So anyways, we're going to swing 1 damage at the Red Squadron Escort, then dealing 3, and then that's going to kill off. That does allow us to have Jin's effect go off. Unfortunately, we paid all our resources to play a Mastery on a non-unique unit. Mastery can reduce its cost by 1 if it plays on a unique unit. Mastery does not. Mastery here is still in the full, so we're going to go swing for 4 damage, of course, from the Y-Wing there. Coming down, then Turret, of course, taking 1 indirect. He actually should take 3. Oh, no, sorry. That Y-Wing, I think they missed it. The Y-Wing should have done 4 damage to the base there. We're going to go for no glory on the results, immediately killing off the Y-Wing. But yeah, there's a misconception of the base damage there, because I think the Fleet X-Wing was killed off by the Red Squadron Escort. And then the 3 indirect damage... 1 indirect damage with the turret, 2 indirect damage to the base here. So technically that base is completely wrong on damage right now. And the player has caught it. Anyways, we're going to go for another Red Squadron Escort to deal 2 damage itself to draw 1 card. And then, of course, we do have the ability to flip Jin if absolutely need be. A Rebel did die this phase, so Jin is able to flip and then swing and then able to search. But again, the turret is blocking that because the Force is still active. We're then going to use the Maul effect to then ping 1 on the Y-Wing, ping 1 on the Red Squadron Escort, putting that one up to 3 damage points there, meaning that one more and it does technically die. So the one problem here is that Jin could have swung at Churd and then taken a -3 there, which it wouldn't have been great, but you do get to cycle your deck, cycle the top 3 cards of your deck for Jin's effect here. Anyways, we're going to pay for all 6. We're going to go for a Lost and Forgotten to heal 3 damage off of the base here and then kill off the Churd, which does get rid of that Sentinel. We are going to go for a flip of the Maul Man himself. Then we're going to swing 3 damage from the Red Squadron Escort here. Again, meaning that if Maul does swing, Maul has to temporarily kill off one of these things. So we're going to go for a TIE SF. We're going to then kill off the Y-Wing with a TIE SF, and then 1 damage to the TIE SF, and then 3 indirect damage. So 1 indirect damage at the TIE SF, and then 1 damage. Then the remaining 2 damage at the base there. So Karis is then going to swing the base, and that's going to create the Force. So technically the Force token should be flipped over to representation of the Forces being active right now. So then we're going to go for Maul's lightsaber. Of course, the specialty rare card from Maul here. And then we're going to be able to swing, and then we're going to be able to kill the Red Squadron Escort off the battlefield, and then dealing 1 damage to the Maul himself because of his own effect there. Then we're going to have Jin kill off Karis, and then my opponent is going to completely miss the Jin trigger. Because Jin technically recognized that the Blue Squadron Escort died that phase. She doesn't care when it died. It just has to die in the entirety of the round that you guys are playing. So that is a miss on the Jin. We have a miss on the health on the base. So congratulations. Both our players are deciding that they don't know how, are showcasing why they don't know how to play the game. Again, everyone just kind of plays here for the fun of it. So I really don't think either side is really caring here. As we go for the Maul trigger, dealing 1 damage to himself and dealing 1 damage to the Jin, because if he dealt the damage to the TIE SF, it just blows up. We're going to go for aggressive negotiations here for Jin, dealing a whole lot of damage to, of course, the Force base there, but I don't think it's really going to matter because I think the 27 health base is going to straight up die here, and we're just going to go for showcasing of playing a single card here that doesn't really matter, because game 1 goes to the Maul side after some misplays, missing some abilities, and missing, I think, damage that came onto a base. So, without further ado, let's get into game number 2 of whatever happened in game number 1. Let's see if our players can actually track what's happening. Here we go, folks. Game number 2. Let's see if this game can be a little better here, as my camera decided that focusing does not matter anymore. The game doesn't matter anymore. Anyways, we're going to go for the Y-Wing, and then we're going to go for a Karis. So I guess the Warhammer side symbol is the Force has been claimed, while the Inquisition symbol is oh no, okay, so they are correct. The Inquisition is the Force, the Warhammer side is the Initiative. So anyways, Karis swinging for 2, Y-Wing swinging for 1, and then 3 indirect damage. We're going to go for a Marva Andor, which on death can allow you to search out rebels. Anyways, we're going to go for the effect of Maul here to burn the Force and then do 1 damage. 1 damage as my camera is slowly figuring out how to focus back into the game, but also not staying completely in focus. Apologies for that. I can't always be around my camera to make sure it stays in focus 24/7. So we're going to figure out what we want to do here. We're going to have the Y-Wing attack and then dealing 1 damage to the TIE SF and then 3 indirect damage. So that's going to be 1 more extra indirect damage onto the TIE and then 1 indirect damage into the base. The other 2 into the base. Karis is going to then swing, giving 2 indirect damage. We're going to kill off the Karis here with the Marva, and then no trigger from the Karis to try to kill off the Marva here. That would just allow Jin to trigger and would allow Marva to trigger as well. So the TIE SF did swing into the base as well. So from there, kind of figuring out what we want to do here. And then we're going to go for another Y-Wing. We do have the Jin trigger that can go this turn because the Y-Wing did die. That was a rebellion. And we're going to go for the Bith Brute. And then we're going to pay 1. We are going to go for the Jin. And then that is not how Jin works at all. Jin is to search the top 3 cards, and then you get to draw 1. So no, that was a complete mess up on the Jin trigger there, because that was just a straight draw 1, which is not what Jin does. Jin looks at top 3 cards of your deck, and then you get to add 1 to your hand, and then put the other 2 in the bottom of your deck, if I recall where the other 2 go, which typically most of the time is just the bottom of your deck. So yeah, now we have decided to miss that triggers, and I'm not even sure what the +1 is doing on the Y-Wing. I completely missed that, so apologies. I was concentrating on the fact that we messed up the Jin trigger. Anyways, we're going to go put down Orlando, which is really nice there. Again, anything attacking, it does get -1 to its attack here. We're going to go for the TIE SF into the base here. Then we're going to have the Y-Wing kill off the TIE SF. 3 indirect damage coming out of our opponents, because the TIE SF can't technically take it, because the TIE SF technically dies, so the Y-Wing on attack trigger. On track trigger, and then we have the indirect damage actually going here first. So 1 damage onto the bit, 2 indirect damage on the Bith Brute, 1 indirect damage to the base here. Then we're gonna go for a shuttle. So that does mean that your opponent, each side has to choose 1 card to kill off. In this case, the shuttle can kill itself off, and then the Lando has to die for retaliation because of the shuttle effect. We're going to flip the Jin here. We do have the trigger of the Jin to allow a search on the attack, and see if our opponent decides to mess that one up. Anyways, we're going to go for the 4 damage from the good old Bith Bruce. My camera decides it doesn't want to focus on whatever game is happening right now. We're going to kill off the Bith Bruce with the Jin here, and then we're going to use the Jin trigger yet again. The Jin is not a draw one. It's a search the top 3 cards of your deck for a card. For 1 card. I'm going to check that to make sure I actually am reading Jin right. So I am right, folks. They are writing the Jin completely wrong. The Jin is just drawing the top card instead of searching the top 3. We're going to have a Maul flip here. We're going to potentially go for a plot of the Chancellor Palpatine here. Out of aspect Chancellor Palpatine as well. That means that it's cost a 5. We're going to put out 2 spy tokens here, and let's see if our player puts a top card. I don't know if they put the top card of their deck into their resources to replace for the Chancellor Palpatine. We're just going to go kill off a spy here. It does have Sentinel. My camera is finally focusing here. We're going to go for Maul to ping 1 damage on the Chancellor and ping 1 damage onto the Jin. And then we're going to go for a play of retaliation to immediately kill off the Maul there and show the fancy god. The Lord is Almighty has come into the game here today. Anyways, retaliation, kill a unit that attacked the base. It does not care what attacked the base, if it's leader or non-leader, it just immediately murks it off. I've always been hesitant about that card because I've never really felt good about the effect of retaliation, because I feel like it's not the best because you have to take the damage to your base before you can kill off the thing, but it's pretty good in some circumstances. We're going to go for the Hammerhead to immediately deal damage to a unit based on the number of cards you have in your hand. We're going to go for the 𝐂𝐎𝐏𝐾 to show 𝐂𝐎𝐏 and 𝐂𝐍𝐉, and then it's going to freeze the Hammerhead as long as the 𝐂𝐎𝐏 is up on the board state, because again, it's a really nice card, folks. It's a really nice card. Interesting to see a Maul player playing that in Maul. Typically it's Piet plays the 𝐂𝐏. So anyways, we're just going to have a claim on to the Jin Urso side of the board, and I don't know if that was my hand or whose hand or what person was moving around next to my camera, but it doesn't really matter. They didn't bump anything. So anyways, we're going to go from there. We're going to figure out what we want to do here. And it looks like we just have a straight scoop up from there, because there's nothing our opponent can really do. Looks like to deal with the 𝐂𝐏 to try to get the Hammerhead to restand. But again, as long as the 𝐂𝐏 is there, you have to remove the 𝐂𝐏, then have the Hammerhead restand, and then all of that. So in the end, we've had 2 games of something happened. I will say we had a Jin trigger that didn't even happen. We had, I think, misuse of damage in game 1. We had a Jin trigger that didn't even go off. Yeah, that was gameplay, I can say 100%. But again, both sides are good friends. So we're all good friends at our local. So sometimes we do like to just joke around, and sometimes it just happens to be on camera when it happens. So anyways, with that said, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the decks, on the gameplay, and while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know if my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mountain Dragons TCG.